It looks like Pete Davidson and Emily Ratajkowski have gone as public as you possibly can in Hollywood by attending an NBA game together. The couple confirmed to the world that yes, their relationship really is happening. They had their first public outing in one of New York City's highest profile venues when they sat courtside together at a New York Knicks game last night in Madison Square Garden. They were sitting next to Ben Stiller and Jordan Sparks, so there was a lot of star power in the house. While the two of them didn't have a kiss cam moment this time, they were not trying to hide the fact that they were a couple whatsoever. While there didn't seem to be any obvious PDA, Emily and Pete were all smiles and they didn't shy away from the cameras either. In fact, the Knicks' own Twitter account posted a photo of them together from the night with the caption, "Pete Davidson doesn't miss." The post went viral and the responses were both hilarious and completely expected. Someone wrote, "At this point he's getting fine women from the fact that he's been known to have other fine women. And he can't keep getting away with this." Another user tweeted, "I've moved past my hater stage and I'm now impressed and rooting for him." What's really funny though is that most of the comments are still along the lines of, "What does he have that I don't have?" I mean, a lot of people still seem like they cannot fathom how Pete Davidson managed to score yet another hot date, but Emily said it herself when she described him as a professional. She also said he's got the height, he's super charming, vulnerable, and he has a good relationship with his mom. She even said that it's only other men that think he isn't attractive, which seems to be the case. But the craziest part about their date night was during their celebrity attendee shoutout, the in-game announcer called him Pete Davis, and he actually wasn't even able to name Emily at all. Their big outing comes just 2 weeks after it was first reported that the two of them were seeing each other. Pete and Emily were recently spotted in the Big Apple celebrating his 29th birthday, and photographers snapped pictures of them hugging in a building hallway, probably to escape the freezing temperatures at the time. We know the two of them also attended Friendsgiving together over the weekend. Bumble's chief brand officer Shelby Drummond shared an Instagram post of the two of them seated at her dinner table. So clearly they're starting to spend holidays together as well. A source told Us Weekly on November 14th that Pete and Emily have been talking for a couple of months now. They're in the very early stages of dating, but both really like each other. As for Emily, she's been hinting for a while now that she's ready to get back into the dating game. She told Harper's Bazaar, "I can tell you that I have never been single before. I feel all the emotions. I feel anger, sadness, I feel excited, I feel joy, I feel levity. Every day is different. The only good thing I know is that I'm feeling all of those things, which is nice because it makes me believe that I'll be okay." But interestingly enough, she's also hinted on her TikTok that things between her and Pete are actually casual, and that she might be seeing multiple people. She posted a video of her lip syncing to the phrase, "I would be with multiple men, also some women as well. Everyone's hot but in an interesting way." Pete has also been out of the dating game for quite some time now, ever since breaking up with Kim Kardashian in August. In fact, fans have speculated that the reality star might be a little bit jealous with her ex dating Emily, as we know that Kim and Pete started dating after they met on SNL in October of 2021, and they ended up dating for 9 months. So to be fair, it was one of Pete's longest relationships. Since then, many people have felt that Kim did not approve of who he has chosen to date now. Fans pointed to a video that she posted of her dancing and singing along to Ariana Grande's song Santa Tell Me, along with her daughter North. And because Ariana is another one of Pete's exes, people seem to think that it was some kind of message. One fan commented, "The same day news comes out about Pete and Emily, huh?" While another person said, "Kim really fired up a TikTok to Ariana Grande after the Pete and Em Rata news." But it's impossible to know for sure because Kim hasn't come out and publicly said anything against Emily. In fact, a source told Entertainment Tonight just last week, quote, "Kim is not bothered by Pete and Emily's relationship and knows that things were over between her and Pete. She just wants everyone to live their best lives and be happy." So hopefully everyone is able to get behind them as a couple, because they're already starting to become a fan favorite. Did you know that Harry Styles was spotted kissing Emily Ratajkowski? Yeah, that's right, the two of them were spotted on the streets of Tokyo this week making out against a car. The craziest part is that it was all caught on camera. Harry and Emily were seen leaning against a silver van looking totally in love. According to reports, they were also seen dancing next to the van and huddling together under one umbrella while it was raining. So it really sounds like something straight out of a romantic comedy. If you're wondering why the two of them were in Tokyo, it's because Harry was there for work for one of his concerts during Love on Tour. The viral video of them kissing has now blown up the internet and sent Harry's dedicated fan base into a spiral. The video currently has millions of views since it was posted on Saturday night, and the reaction has definitely been interesting. Some people were happy to see Harry and Emily together, and and others were making fun of the way he was kissing. Shortly after the news went public, an inside source spoke to People magazine about their hookup. They said, "Harry is seeing someone. He's going to great lengths to keep her identity quiet after the circus surrounding his relationship with Olivia, but his close circles all know about the romance. Though it's early days, things seem to be going well." They went on to confirm that Harry and Emily know each other and they have been friendly for a while. What's really funny is that some fans are saying that Harry manifested his new relationship with Emily. They're pointing to a video that's recently surfaced online, where he actually called her his celebrity crush a few years ago. Now, this is definitely a surprising turn of events, seeing that Harry hasn't been linked to anyone romantically since he split up with Olivia in November. Fans were shocked when the news came out that they were breaking up after nearly 2 years together. So why did they end things? Well, like so many celebrities before them, apparently Harry and Olivia were being pulled apart not by anything scandalous, but by major scheduling conflicts. At the time, he was preparing to kick off the South American leg of his tour, and Olivia had plans to head to London, where she was going to film a documentary. Because of that, the two of them decided to call it quits before they tried to do anything long distance. While it's still unclear who ended the relationship, it was reported that they had been growing apart after 2 years together. And realistically, we know that their romance wasn't without its challenges. For example, they got a lot of hate while they were together, most of it coming from Harry's fans. There was a number of reasons why people didn't like Olivia, but most of it seemed to come down to the fact that they just didn't think that she was a good match for him. As for Emily though, that might be a different story. So far, the reaction to them dating has been pretty positive. The model separated from her husband Sebastian Bear McLeod last September after he allegedly cheated on her. Since then, she's garnered a massive female fan base on social media, mostly because of her podcast with Julia Fox. Emily's also been linked to Pete Davidson and more recently Eric Andre. But as it stands, she might not be looking for anything serious right now, even though we know she's back in the dating game. No one knows for sure whether or not she'll get into a long-term relationship with Harry, but as long as they're both having fun right now, that's really all that matters. Why are so many people saying they prefer Emily Ratajkowski for Pete Davidson over Kim Kardashian? Let's break it down. Although both women are certified A-list hotties and former best friends, there are quite a few reasons why one relationship got a lot of hate while the other one is being celebrated. In early November, it was reported that Pete and Emily are in the very early stages of dating and that they really like each other. A source told Us Weekly that they have been talking for a couple of months now and they were set up by mutual friends. In the weeks following, they've gone on several public outings and each time they've been spotted together, they look more and more like a happy couple. News of the relationship brought mostly positive reactions online. It even added to the running joke about Pete Davidson being able to pull literally anyone he wants. In fact, a meme has since gone viral on Twitter, which is a photoshopped picture of him next to Marilyn Monroe with the caption, "Pete Davidson as soon as he arrives in heaven." Overall, you can see that people are really happy he started dating Emily. Under photos of them, you'll see a lot of comments saying, "Now these two actually seem like they belong together," and people saying, "Finally, it's about time." The general consensus about Pete and Emily is that they not only look great together, but they suit each other in personality as well. Even Howard Stern literally predicted that they would end up together back in September. So when he heard about the news of them dating, he said, "I think it's effing great. I called it. This dude is living the dream and you can get a little bit jealous. He's a funny dude, he's famous, he's rich, he's got big D energy." Which is all true, but fans of Em Rata also remember the time that she publicly defended Pete on Late Night with Seth Meyers, all while he was still in a relationship with Kim. When Seth questioned what it is that women see in him, she said, "He's got the height, obviously women find him very attractive. I feel like only other men feel that way. Guys are like, wow, what's that guy got? He seems super charming, vulnerable, lovely, his fingernail polish is awesome, he looks good relationship with his mother, we love it." So obviously she was super into Pete's charm from day one. We also know that Emily and Pete are very close in age, as he's 29 and she's 31, which means they're probably at very similar stages in their life. As for his relationship with Kim Kardashian, fans reacted very differently to them from the start. They met on the set of Saturday Night Live and Kim later said that she felt a spark between them when they shared a kiss during their Aladdin comedy sketch. But people really began cringing at their relationship when Kim started spilling a little too many details about their sex life. Perhaps the lines of what should and shouldn't be shared on social media was indefinitely crossed when the world suddenly learned that Pete Davidson had big D energy, and Kim Kardashian pretty much confirmed it. She also talked about getting with him on her reality show and said, "I was just basically DTF." While some people appreciated the honesty, others thought it was all a little bit too much. Then there were the tattoos. Fans thought it was a huge red flag that Pete had tattoos of Kim Kardashian and her 4 children, and now that they've broken up, it seems like it was a poorly thought out permanent decision. One of the tattoos Pete has dedicated to Kim said, "My girl is a lawyer, which he got to celebrate her passing of the baby bar. He also got the names Aladdin and Jasmine with an infinity symbol between them, which is a direct reference to their first kiss on SNL. And he even got the initials of her 4 children in a tattoo that reads KNSCP. But of course, Kim didn't get any cheesy couple tattoos done on herself, and that really says a lot about the differences between them. But one of the biggest complications of their relationship was her ex, Kanye West. For some reason, the rapper was so threatened by the idea of his ex-wife moving on with Pete that he made it his mission to try and make his life hell. One of the things that Kanye did to mess with him was that he posted a photo of a fake New York Times cover on Instagram with the headline reading, "Pete Davidson is dead at age 28. He thought it would be hilarious if everyone thought that Pete had died." Then he made a social media post saying, "Hold your spouse close, make sure they know how much you love them and appreciate them, because there is a skeet lurking in every dirty alleyway waiting to help destroy your family, and walk around in Calvin Klein jeans around your children." As a result, fans felt really bad that Pete had to go through all of that, because you could tell that it was really putting a strain on his mental health. While it was great that he stood by Kim during all of the Kanye drama, clearly at some point it became too much for anyone to have to put up with. So all things considered, you can see why there's such a difference between the way people felt about Kim and Pete together versus how they feel about Emily and Pete now that they've started dating. It looks like Kim Kardashian might be a little bit jealous of her ex Pete Davidson dating Emily Ratajkowski. In fact, some people say she's thrown some shade at their relationship. As we know, Kim and Pete started dating after they met on SNL in October of 2021, and they ended up dating for 9 months. So it wasn't exactly a little fling, they did have a serious relationship. Now it seems like she doesn't approve of his new model girlfriend, and she somehow expressed that on TikTok. Fans pointed to a video that she posted of her dancing and singing along to Ariana Grande's song Santa Tell Me, along with her little daughter North. And because Ariana is one of Pete Davidson's exes, people seem to think that that is some kind of message. One fan commented, "The same day news comes out about Pete and Emily, huh?" While another one said, "Kim really fired up a TikTok to Ariana Grande after the Pete and Em Rata news. And Kim K using Ariana Grande music in a TikTok, oh, it's happening." Of course, this is all just speculation because Kim and North could easily just be getting into the Christmas spirit. Now all this drama comes after Pete and Emily have decided to make it official. The comedian was spotted in the Big Apple celebrating his 29th birthday with his girlfriend Emily, and photographers snapped pictures of the two of them hugging in a building hallway when they were escaping the freezing New York City temperatures. They first met in Manhattan before traveling separately to Brooklyn. According to TMZ, their hookup adventure started as Pete drove to Emily's West Village apartment, all to pick her up, but when paparazzi found him, he apparently bolted from the scene, probably because he wanted to keep their relationship on the down low. Then apparently Emily ordered a rideshare which took her to a rendezvous with Pete. The pair first made headlines earlier this week after being spotted together by celebrity gossip Instagram account Dumois. Much to the internet's collective shock, a source close to Pete told People magazine that they are seeing each other. Sparks started flying when mutual friends set them up. Now the former SNL comedian and the model are said to be in the very early stages of dating, and apparently really like each other. As for Emily, this kind of fun romance that she's bound to have with Pete is exactly what she needs right now as she gets back into the dating game. As we know, she recently split up from her husband Sebastian Bear McLeod in September, after it was alleged that he cheated on her. 31-year-old mom of one says that she has been enjoying dating ever since. She told Harper's Bazaar, "I can tell you that I have never been single before. I feel all the emotions, anger, sadness, I feel excited, I feel joy, I feel levity. Every day is different. The only good thing I know is that I'm feeling all of those things, which is nice because it makes me believe that I'll be okay." She did admit though that it was hard for her to go on a date with someone and think about how much she did or didn't even like them. Basically, she would get too in her head about the date while it was happening. She said, "I would have been thinking about how they were perceiving me, what it meant, what they wanted from me, what it meant about my self-worth. I don't have that anymore." This news is pretty crazy since it's common knowledge that Pete has been out of the dating game ever since breaking up with Kim K in August. And he's decided to keep a low profile recently as he's been focusing more on his career and on going to trauma therapy. Earlier this year, Pete decided to seek mental health treatment, mostly due to disturbing and violent posts that were made against him by Kanye West while he was dating Kim. One of the things that Kanye did to mess with him was that he posted a photo of a fake New York Times cover on Instagram with the headline reading, "Pete Davidson is dead at 28. For some reason, he thought it would be hilarious if everyone thought that Pete had died. Then he made a social media post saying, "Hold your spouse close, make sure they know how much you love and appreciate them, because there is a skeet lurking in every dirty alleyway waiting to help destroy your family, and walk around in Calvin jeans around your children." So while Pete was probably head over heels for Kim, when they eventually got together, Kanye saw him as public enemy number one. The rapper was so threatened by the comedian that he made it his mission to give Pete a hard time, and it looks like he succeeded because now Pete literally has to undergo trauma therapy. So as iconic as their relationship was, especially when they both had platinum hair, realistically their relationship between Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson was never going to work. But as for Kim and Emily, they actually seem to be a lot better suited to each other because they're both in similar stages of life. So let's just hope that Pete is not going to have to contend with any more jealous exes. Did you know that Pete Davidson and Emily Ratajkowski are dating? If you know anything about Pete Davidson's dating history, the news probably won't come as a shock, but it looks like a lot of people are genuinely surprised. The former SNL comedian and the model are said to be in the very early stages of dating and really like each other. A source told US Weekly that they have been talking for a couple of months now, after they were set up by mutual friends. The news comes after a recent internet rumor claiming that the two of them were seen all over each other. The story goes that the celebrity gossip Instagram account Dumois received an anonymous tip from someone claiming that they saw Emily and Pete on a date in Brooklyn over the weekend. The person said they were very clearly hooking up, and good for them if that's true. You might be surprised to know that Pete and Emily actually have a bit of history together. When he was still in a relationship with Kim, Emily publicly defended him during an interview on Late Night with Seth Meyers in 2021. They had modeled together, and Emily said that she was impressed by him and called him a professional. And when Seth Meyers questioned what it is that women see in Pete Davidson, she said, "He's got the height. Obviously women find him attractive. I feel like only other men feel that way. Guys are like, wow, what's that guy got? He seems super charming, vulnerable, lovely. His fingernail polish is awesome. He looks good. Good relationship with his mother, we love it." So there you have it. She was obviously super into Pete's charm from day one. It wasn't long before the internet practically exploded with shock over the new couple. One user tweeted, "Pete Davidson is real living proof that you can pull anyone if you're funny enough." Another tweet that went viral said, "If you're in line to date Pete Davidson, stay in line. It's your constitutional right." And I find it funny when people act shocked that Pete Davidson dates beautiful women. Women have been telling men for decades that they want kind men who can make us laugh, and Pete, by all accounts, is a sweetheart who treats women amazingly well. Learn from him maybe. As usual, it seemed like a lot of men were astounded at the fact that he managed to bag yet another supermodel, and they were left wondering, what does Pete Davidson have that I don't have? From Ariana Grande to Kim Kardashian, you can no longer deny that a lot of hot girls date Pete Davidson. While she was dating him, Kim explained the phenomenon pretty well. She said, "Pete has the best heart. I feel like people, they have this idea of him that he dates all these hot girls, and he does, but he's really just the sweetest, most thoughtful person." So in other words, he might seem like a player, but he doesn't go around disrespecting women. He's also smart and funny, as we know he was cast on SNL when he was only 20 years old. In fact, during the 9 months that he was with Kim Kardashian, a lot of fans noticed that she became more lighthearted and they would often joke a lot together. But Pete's fame reached new heights in 2018 when he started dating Ariana Grande. And then, as if that wasn't shocking enough, the two of them got engaged less than a month later, and then the infamous paparazzi photos came out of Ariana licking a lollipop while gazing at Pete. From that point on, the phrase Big D energy started making the rounds on social media, and Pete was the face of it. The comedian then dated Kate Beckinsale, Margaret Qualley, Kaya Gerber, and Phoebe Dynevor. As a result, he earned himself the reputation as one of Hollywood's most prolific ladies men. As for Emily, the kind of fun romance that she's bound to have with Pete is exactly what she needs right now as she gets back into the dating game. The model was recently linked to Brad Pitt, as Page Six has confirmed that they had been out a few times together and were taking things slow. It wouldn't be a bad match for Emily because it is Brad Pitt we're talking about here, but the age gap between them is certainly enough to raise a few eyebrows, considering that Brad is 58 years old while Emily is only 31. Unfortunately, the only thing they seem to have in common is that they're both going through a messy divorce. Emily split from her husband Sebastian Bear McLeod in September after it was alleged that he cheated on her. In a new series of TikTok videos, the 31-year-old mother said, "As a recently single person who is thinking about dating and stuff, I've really seen that with my friends and with the conversations around it. People tend to say dating should be about reciprocal mutual relationships where two people could potentially foster love. And while that might take a while to find in today's dating scene, it's certainly worth looking for." Emily Ratajkowski just said that she doesn't believe in straight people. The model told Harper's Bazaar that she thinks everyone is sexually fluid. She said, "I think sexuality is on a sliding scale. I don't really believe in straight people." Last month, Emily went viral on TikTok for coming out as bisexual. She posted a duet to a TikTok asking, "If you identify as bisexual, do you own a green velvet couch?" And even though she didn't say anything, the actress filmed herself sitting on her very own green velvet couch. Since then, said people in the comment section have been rejoicing at the news and writing things like "win for the ladies" and "so many celebrity women are coming out and I just love it." Now Emily has opened up about the viral video and whether or not she was actually coming out as bisexual by posting it. She said, "My girlfriend came over and was like, 'Have you seen this green couch thing?' She was laughing at me because my green couch is so big." She then went on to talk about her sexuality and how it's related to her feminism. She said, "I want to be able to have fun with how I present myself in the world without feeling like I'm a bad feminist or a good feminist. I don't want to be a part of your club if you don't want to have me. It's fine." Despite the fact that they split up back in July, the 31-year-old said that she still feels anger toward her ex Sebastian McLeod, who allegedly cheated on her. She said, "I can tell you that I have never been single before. I feel all the emotions. I feel anger, sadness, I feel excitement, I feel joy, I feel levity. Every day is different. The only good thing I know is that I'm feeling all of those things, which is nice because it makes me believe that it'll be okay." She added that her son's happiness and well-being is now her top priority. The former couple share a 1-year-old son together named Sylvester. She said, "I've never had such clear priorities before in my life. Number one is Sly and that's that." She said motherhood shifted her perspective and made her reevaluate what's important. Emily has been married to Sebastian for 4 years, so there's no doubt that the split would have been hard on her. On September the 8th, she filed for divorce in Manhattan Supreme Court. Page 6 reported that the filing was contested, which means that the terms of the divorce have not been resolved. That same month, a source close to the model confirmed that the couple had broken up and that it was her decision. Quote, "He cheated, he's a serial cheater, it's gross, he's a dog." Although Emily hasn't spoken out directly about her personal life, she subtly confirmed the cheating rumors by liking several tweets, including one that said, "Em Rata, finally free from that man, just proves that God is actually very real," and "can't believe that little B cheated on Em Rata." But it's not all that bad. In fact, it looks like Emily has gotten herself a brand new love interest and moved on with DJ Orazio Rizpo. They were first spotted together in New York on the 14th of October when they were photographed kissing in the street. Emily was wearing an all-black off-the-shoulder outfit with red books, while Orazio wore a yellow shirt with a cord jacket and turned-up grey trousers. People published photographs adding that they were seen having dinner in New York City and seemed to be enjoying each other's company. Emily has also been linked to Brad Pitt recently, but whether that romance blossoms into something serious remains to be seen. She's also recently announced her newest business venture with her podcast called Hilo, which launches this week. It's set to cover a range of topics and have guest speakers on her show, and has been described as a mix of Call Her Daddy and fresh air. This move makes total sense because fans have been wanting her to create a podcast for quite some time. Em Rata has gotten herself a massive following on TikTok, mostly for her tell it like it is feminist takes. In fact, she was one of the first celebrities to call out Adam Levine when he was exposed for cheating on his wife with Instagram model Sumner Stroh. Emily said, "I don't understand why we continue to blame women for men's mistakes, especially when you're talking about a 20-something-year-old woman dealing with men in positions of power who are twice their age. The power dynamic is so skewed, it's ridiculous. Like it's predatory, it's manipulative, I can't imagine." In a second post, the 31-year-old followed it up with, "I think we have a huge problem in our culture right now when we say, oh, men are monsters, they're terrible, they're horrible. Then we don't hold them accountable. We blame other women and ask women to adjust their behavior, instead of just saying that men need to change their behavior. It's sexism, it's classic misogyny." Are Brad Pitt and Emily Ratajkowski secretly dating? Well, it sure looks like it. I'm your host Bridget Shields and let's get right into this story. Page 6 has confirmed that Brad and Emily have been out a few times together and seem to be taking things slow, although they haven't announced that they are officially dating. The internet has exploded over the past couple of days with speculation that the two are seeing each other in secret. A Hollywood insider with knowledge of the situation claimed to OK Magazine that it was Brad who made the first move. Quote, "He asked her out and she said yes. She's always thought Brad was cute and the way she saw it, what did she have to lose? It makes sense that both of them would want to get back in the dating game as they have really been put through the ringer with their ex-partners." Emily recently filed for divorce from her estranged husband Sebastian McLeod earlier this month, alleging that he cheated on her, while Brad is still going through his seemingly never-ending contentious divorce from Angelina Jolie. So if they are really dating, it's probably comforting to know that they are both going through a similar situation, but the age gap between them is certainly enough to raise a few eyebrows, considering that Brad is 58 years old while Emily is only only 31. Although, to be fair, that age difference is pretty common in Hollywood, and it's still much better than the 25 rule that Leonardo DiCaprio has going on. But regardless of whether or not she's dating again, it's pretty obvious that the last couple of weeks have been really hard on Emily. Early this month, she filed for divorce from her film producer husband in Manhattan Supreme Court after 4 years of marriage. Page 6 reported that the fling was contested, which means that the terms of the divorce have not been resolved between the spouses. In July, a source close to the model confirmed that the couple had broken up and that it was her decision. Quote, "He cheated. He's a serial cheater. It's gross. He's a dog." Although Emily hasn't spoken out directly about her personal life, she has removed both her engagement ring and wedding band and has been photographed without the jewelry for at least 3 weeks. She chose not to trash talk Sebastian publicly, but instead subtly confirmed the rumors by liking several tweets, including one that said, "Em Rata is finally free from that man, just proves that God is actually very real," and "Can't believe that little B cheated on Em Rata." In truth, everyone was especially surprised that Emily got cheated on given her insane beauty and supermodel status. Pretty soon the internet flooded with women in despair, saying things like, well, if Emily Ratajkowski got cheated on, then no one is safe. In fact, a similar conversation happened when there were rumors that Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. Unfortunately, it really goes to show you how many people still believe that in some way, the woman is partly to blame even though she is the one being wronged. Brad Pitt, on the other hand, is going through an even messier divorce, which has been going on since 2016. Angelina and Brad separated, and it has been anything but a smooth process since it began. But the legal drama reached an all-time high last year when Angelina filed court documents claiming that she was a victim of domestic violence. Not only that, but the actress and their children are willing to offer proof and authority in support of these allegations. She also agreed to provide testimony. So where did the serious accusation come from? Well, in 2016, news broke that an altercation on a flight from Nice, France to Los Angeles had ultimately sparked the reason for the couple's divorce, as Brad was drinking heavily on the flight and allegedly physically hurt their oldest son, Maddox. He was subsequently investigated by the Los Angeles Department of Children and Family Services, and he was cleared. Brad reportedly told the FBI that he had shouted at his son, but insisted that he did not attempt to physically harm him, his wife, or any of their other children. The actor has since also admitted that he was facing difficulties with alcohol at the time and attended Alcoholics Anonymous following the divorce. So it's possible that the incident was just a family argument that happened to escalate too far. Aside from fighting over custody of their 6 children, the former couple are also fighting over finances. In August of 2018, Angelina accused Brad of not paying any meaningful child support after their divorce. The 58-year-old countered that he had actually loaned her $8 million to buy a home plus $1.3 million for bills. But her attorney slammed him in a statement, insinuating that he was charging her interest on a payment plan, saying a loan is not child support, and to represent it as such is misleading and inaccurate. The rep added that Angelina was requesting that Brad pay 50% of the kids' expenses because she has had to shoulder the majority of those without his contribution for the past 2 years. With lawsuits being flung left and right, the ugly legal battle between the two A-list stars seems to drag on forever, and at this point there is still no end in sight.
Model and actress Emily Ratajkowski has accused Robin Thicke of inappropriate behavior in her new book. Emily alleges that the singer 2013 during the filming of the music video called Blurred Lines. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know right here on IO. But first, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin. In her upcoming book titled My Body that is supposed to be released on November 9th, Emily Ratajkowski claims that Robin had grabbed her bare breasts while they were filming his music video. According to the Sunday Times of London, who got a sneak peek at the book, she says, "Suddenly out of nowhere, I felt the coolness and foreignness of a stranger's hands cupping my bare breast from behind. I instinctively moved away, looking back at Robin Thicke." She then went on to say, "He smiled a goofy grin and then stumbled backward, his eyes concealed behind his sunglasses. My head turned to the darkness beyond the set. At that moment, director Diane Martel then yelled out to her asking if she was okay." Martel also corroborated Emily's allegations to the Sunday Times and said, "I remember the moment that he grabbed her breasts, one in each hand. He was standing behind her as they were both in profile." Emily speaks about the incident further and explains what she did to get out of this very uncomfortable situation. She writes, "I pushed my chin forward and shrugged, avoiding eye contact, feeling the heat of humiliation pump through my body. I didn't react, not really, not like I should have." And according to Diane Martel, Robin had been drinking and then apologized after realizing that Emily was made uncomfortable by his actions. She told the newspaper that she had taken measures to ensure that the women on set felt more comfortable, but this incident proves that even with measures in place, that doesn't always stop the star talent of the day from crossing those lines. Martell also spoke about Robin's weak apology in the moment and said, "Robin sheepishly apologized as if he knew it was wrong without understanding how it might have felt for Emily." This is the first time that Ratajkowski has written about this incident and said that she recalled that day after noticing that Robin had blocked her on Instagram. According to The Times, the model's book will feature essays that chronicle key moments from her life while exploring topics of feminism, sexuality, and power of men's treatment of women and women's rationalizations for accepting that treatment. As of right now, Robin Thicke has yet to publicly respond to these new allegations despite multiple news organizations reaching out to him for comment. I'm assuming once this book comes out though and more people read it, his team will definitely have to issue a statement on the matter. Emily Ratajkowski announced her pregnancy back in October of 2020, and now she has had to take to Instagram to combat new rumors that she had received lip fillers while she was pregnant. I'm going to tell you all about the details of the speculation and Emily's response in a moment, but first, if you could please smash that like button, we would really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's just dive right into today's video. So recently, Emily had to make an Instagram post to clear up a bunch of rumors she claimed to have been hearing for the last few weeks. In her Instagram story, Emily said, "For anyone saying you need to stop with the lip injections, I've never had lip injections. No judging for folks who do, y'all look great, but you can't even get lip injections when you're pregnant." She then added, "A woman's blood volume increases 50%, which is why ladies can get a little puffy in the face and lips during pregnancy." Now, as she noted in her story, this is true. Doctors definitely recommend you do not get things like lip filler treatments while you're pregnant. And back in 2017, if you remember, Kylie Jenner actually sparked a very similar rumor when she was pregnant with her daughter Stormi. Many fans were concerned and wondered if she was going to continue with her lip injections or other cosmetic procedures while she was carrying. The main concern is that the effects of lip injections on pregnancy or breastfeeding for that matter have not been studied enough. And Emily also used this one post to respond to some other critiques that people have been saying about her pregnancy as well. She goes on to say, "Secondly, people saying you've been pregnant forever. LOL, yes, pregnancy lasts for 40 weeks, which can definitely feel like a long time, but I announced halfway into my pregnancy and it's only been 3 months since then. Actually, it's weirdly gone by very quickly to me." She then added, "It's pretty weird to have your body change so much in a matter of months, but I've found I have a whole new appreciation for what my body can do and what is beautiful, and I'm gonna celebrate it on here whenever I feel like it." She also should just post and ghost, in my opinion. I can imagine carrying a child must be stressful enough, and then to be reading all of this other stuff about yourself, I mean, that can't be good. You can see it in her response as well, that she seems fed up by what people are saying about her, and I understand the desire to, hit back and make sure that they know what's up, but the reality is, people will always say whatever they want to say. Emily should just be focused on her new baby, her family, and perhaps maybe a break from social media would do her wonders. It's just sad that someone can't celebrate something online without people filling up the comment section saying Emily has been filling up her lips or whatever.
So actress and model Emily Ratajkowski has announced that she and husband Sebastian Bear McLeod are going to be welcoming a baby in the coming weeks. The announcement was made on October 26th and in the most model-esque way. Emily posted images of her cover of Vogue's digital issue. The 29-year-old mother-to-be posted the pictures to her Instagram with the caption "Grateful and growing" as she showed off her baby bump. Along with the pictures announcing the star's pregnancy, the issue also included an open letter which detailed her feelings about her pregnancy and her child. One portion of the letter that was highlighted was Emily's desire to raise her child without gender. Speaking on this, Emily said, quote, "I like the idea of forcing as few gender stereotypes on my child as possible." She also expressed how, as she told her loved ones about her pregnancy, a lot of people asked what she wanted the baby to be as far as gender. Though it is a common question, Emily as well as her husband have revealed that they won't know the gender of their child until they're 18 and are able to speak on what gender they identify as. Living with the question of who their child will be, Emily said, quote, "We ultimately have no idea who rather than what is growing inside my belly. Who will this person be? What kind of person will we become parents to? How will they change our lives and who we are? This is a wondrous and terrifying concept, one that renders us both helpless and humbled." End quote. It's a sentiment not often vocalized publicly, but it is a refreshing idea. Though Emily expresses her desire to refrain from gendering her baby, she also goes on to talk about those who do discuss their child's gender, saying that she doesn't necessarily blame them for imposing such generalizations on their kids because of the way society is right now, but she says that it seems unfair to force gender roles and preconceptions on children from birth. This kind of brings up ideas like gender reveal parties where parents and loved ones celebrate a baby's gender through pink and blue decorations. We saw the beginning of a boycott of these kinds of parties this year, and even the creator of this trend is now going back on it, saying that celebrating gender is unnecessary and puts pressure on the kids to conform to a certain category. Emily is very open to welcoming her baby, whoever they grow to be, saying that she wants to become a parent who gives her kid the freedom to show who they truly are, but is also aware that though she may be more open to this concept, the reality is that her baby will be subject to the constraints of gender generalizations from the moment that they're born. Either way, their baby, no matter who they are, will face certain struggles, and though Emily fears for those moments, she is welcoming to helping her kid navigate through life accepted and loved. In her open letter, she also explores her thoughts on pregnancy and how she's been comparing herself to others, both in the way that she's carrying but also the way that she will develop her parenting skills. As there are so many pictures and resources about pregnancy and parenting, I can only imagine how crazy this time must be, and especially now that she's announced her pregnancy, being a public figure will bring more attention, advice, and scrutiny. No matter what, it's her body and her family, and I'm sure she will always do what's right for them. Congratulations to Emily and Sebastian, sending you nothing but love.